Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Matt Rowley, Director of Athletic Communications here at the University of West Florida. Today is an exciting day. We are officially introducing Pete Shinnick, the first football head coach at the University of West Florida. To give you a brief preview of what to expect today, we will first bring up Dr. Bense, President of the University. Then we'll bring up our Athletic Director, Dave Scott. After that, Coach Shinnick will come up for some words at that point. Then we'll have a brief time for Q&A with the media that are here in attendance. After we're done with that point, for the media that are here, we will also have some time for some one-on-one questions, and that will be over in the corner of the room to my right and to your left. So to start our program here today, we will bring up University of West Florida President, Dr. Judy Bense.
Well, I have only waited 5 years, 4 months, and 32 days, but who's counting for this wonderful day. I've been having this football helmet in my office, and it's gotten dust on it. I've worried that we'll never do it, but by gosh, we are going to do it, and I am a happy president, because I know that I now can finally answer the question I have been asked more as president than any other question by the community, by the students, and by the staff is, when are we going to start UWF football? And so I am very happy to be here today to welcome Coach Shinnick, who is going to lead us to the first kickoff that we have on a football field for the University of West Florida Argonauts. I also am happy that our athletic department is going to experience a bump, a boost. All of our athletics will. We have experienced in the past unprecedented success already. Every coach in this room is a winner. Every member of the team, of one of our teams in this room, knows how to win. We are a strong athletic university. We are getting stronger. People are getting increasingly worried about us when we show up on the field. They think we're going to go to D1. We're not. We're just going to keep beating their butts in Division II. And that's what we do, and we do it well. I think what football will do for all of our sports is to raise the level of awareness of UWF athletics and the success that we have with 7 national championships and 74 conference championships, which is unprecedented. Another thing that football will do for us is to create the opportunity to win more championships and to win more games and to raise our athletic flag higher. It also is something, and it is a special sport in our culture, that will also engage our community and spread the University of West Florida's reputation, the University of West Florida's contribution, the University of West Florida's engagement and reputation in our region. Because you know, the second most question that is not asked is, what have you done for me lately? And I have to answer that all the time, and I should. This is what we've done for them lately, is we have started this particular sport. We are excited about recruiting our first football team, and we look forward to working with Coach Shinnick to build our football legacy. I want to thank you, Coach, for saying yes. I want to thank you, Tracy, for agreeing to that and supporting Coach Shinnick and your husband to come here and join the UWF family, because you will find out, I know you already know, that there is a family atmosphere here, especially in our athletic department. They support each other. They support you. You support them. In a way, it's one for all and all for one. And it is, I was in Tallahassee yesterday in the halls of the Capitol, worrying with all those politicians who want to do this and want to do that. And they all were asking me about football. And they all wanted a little helmet. And they all wanted to know when our first game was. And the other presidents there are 10 other universities, and not all of them have football. So it is, the other presidents and I were together, and they were going, "Do you know what you're in for?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And so they're happy for us. It is a good day for our state. It's also a good day for Division II. Division II is students first, athletics second. The athletes that you see in the room, the coaches that are in this room know that. They are here for their education. They are also here to play football, soccer, tennis, basketball, all of the other 13 sports that we have. They are important, and they are a means to an end. The end is an education and a better life. And so I know through my athletic experience 50 years ago, and as a young girl, I learned values and behaviors, how to win, how to lose with grace, how to win with grace, how to pick yourself up and dust yourself off when you have been slammed to the ground. They made a wrong call, the ump didn't see it, and you lost the game because of it. To stop crying, to get up, and to hit that ball harder the next time. I think that has served me well in my entire life. And it is the don't quit, you can do it. I don't care how much money they've got or how big their school is. You can be just as good as they are, and we are. I am, and as a university, we are. So that's all I really have to say. I want to thank you for sticking with me, for making football happen. Our athletic director, Dave Scott, has sharpened the pencil. Our CFO, Dr. Stevenson, has sharpened her pencil. We have waited a little long because of the recession, so that we have the right amount of money to start, and we do. And we are starting from scratch, but what the heck is new about UWF? We've started from scratch every time we've started something, and we're doing just fine. So thank you very much, and I want to introduce Dave Scott, the greatest athletic director on the planet.
I'm not sure I can live up to that title, but we're trying. No, it's great to be here today. We're very excited about having Coach Shinnick and his family here with us today, and to have so many supporters in the room of intercollegiate athletics at the University of West Florida and supporters of the University of West Florida. You know, when we were looking through the process, we talk about at the University of West Florida about building champions for life. So it was important for us to select an individual that we fit into our family, as Dr. Bense said it, when we're looking at that. You know, we had no shortage of candidates. We have no shortage of interest in that, but we consider ourselves, we talk about it with our coaches and staff all the time about it being a special place, that the University of West Florida is a special place. And everybody that works here knows that. When I came here 20-some years ago, you know, I planned on leaving after 2 or 3 years, and you talk to many people in this room, that's sort of the case. You come here, it was going to be a place that you built your career, and then you end up staying. You look back, and it's been a great 20-some years, and be able to stand here today, it's a very proud moment. When we were looking for a coach, you know, we started looking at somebody that could build a team, somebody that would put academics first, somebody that would recruit student athletes. And we started looking in the boxes, and Pete met all those things. Sort of a cliche that you check off all the boxes, but he really did for us when we were going through that candidate list and got down to that one individual. We are excited about him coming. He has a proven record. You don't often get the chance to have an individual that's done it before, that started football at UNC in Pembroke and did a great job, took him to the NCAA playoffs in 3 years, which is an amazing accomplishment when you're starting from scratch. He has that proven success and background. But more than that, you know, when I did the reference checks and we're going through that process, people talked about what a great person he was. And that's important to us. We have some great people that are coaches on our staff. We have some great people that are administrators here at the university and on our staff, and I think that's what makes UWF a special place. So that was important to us. Coach is, you know, going to begin a new career here, part of a history and tradition. If you look around the room, we have some of our national champions from various sports and retired jerseys from people that have helped create the University of West Florida what it is today as far as that athletic program. And the coaches we have now build a history, a tradition with that, and we think Coach Shinnick is just going to fit right into that program and be a great part of that from now and in the future. If I could get Coach to come up, get Dr. Bense, if I could get you to come up. We'll slide over here to the right. We want to welcome you to the University of West Florida.
That's right.
Get you to Of course, 2016 is when we'll play our first game. That's pretty cool.
What position? Quarterback,
Yeah,
I see.
there you
Oh,
go.
16, all right, all right.
So 2016, if we coach to come up and make some comments.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, first off, it is an honor to be here on this day, and I want to thank all of you for coming out today on a typical Florida afternoon or morning. I have been told that the weather is not always like this, and I've read some brochures that say the same thing. But Dr. Bense, I just want to thank you for your vision and leadership to get football to where it is. I love the game of football. I've been around it my entire life and very excited to be a part of this. But your vision, your energy, your excitement for this is really one of the main reasons that I'm here. So thank you very much for getting this university to this point today. As I was looking at this opportunity, I got to know Dave through this process, and having done it as he said, and we can talk about that here in a little bit, I was able to, I think, have a few questions that really needed to be answered having been through it. And Dave did a fantastic job of just having everything laid out as to what this was going to look like. And the more I learned from Dave Scott as to the vision for football, how it would be incorporated in with the other sports, the success of the other sports here, the number of conference championships that have already been accomplished, national championships, it just continued to get me excited about having the opportunity to be here today with you. So, Dave, I appreciate you laying everything out. You know, you talk about checking boxes on your part. I mean, you had all the answers for me, so I appreciate that and what you were able to do. Thank you. I want to take a moment to introduce my family, as we are a pretty tight-knit group. Any group that'll jump in a van and drive 10 hours the day before a press conference has got to enjoy each other. My wife for 22 years and going on 23, Tracy, right here. My oldest daughter, Anna. They say when you start football, you get people to add your enrollment who are not football players. Anna will be one of those next fall as she comes to add to the enrollment at UWF. Anna. My daughter, Rachel, who's a junior in high school, we're working on recruiting her, so we've got a little time on that. And then, not that they cheat them, well, thank you. If they all don't get the same amount of applause, I'll have to do that later for them. Elijah, my oldest son here, we're working on recruiting him in that process. And then Benjamin, our youngest. So we can give them a little longer round of applause. This opportunity for us is very exciting, and as Dave mentioned, I did this at, and you guys have read the bio, was able to do this at UNCP, and we did that 8 years ago. I went back and was kind of cleaning up some things and found an article that was written about when we started it there, and I made the statement that, you know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to start a program from scratch at UNCP. So I don't have that comment here, having it be the second time going through this. I love what Division II has to offer, and it's really been a model that has fit me and my coaching philosophy for really my entire life. I grew up around football. My dad played 13 years in the NFL. He coached for 14 years in the NFL, so I grew up in the sidelines, in meeting rooms, and this game has really become a part, obviously, of my life and who I am. And whenever I would talk to any of my dad's former players, one of the things that they would say about him is, first off, he was a heck of a football coach, but more importantly, he was a great man who cared about them and really invested in their lives. And that's really been my philosophy when I got started in coaching. I played under Bill McCartney at the University of Colorado and Ken Hatfield, who I was a graduate assistant with for 3 years. Those men really invested in players' lives and spent time developing them. And what we want to do here is the same thing I've been able to do as the last 15 years as a head coach, is really be mentors for the young men who come and be a part of this program. I can't think of a better place to bring someone than Pensacola, Florida. This is an amazing situation to start football in. And as I said earlier, this athletic department, the success that they've had is really unprecedented, as Dr. Bense said. To have the number of conference championships, the number of national championships already established, I am really looking forward to learning from the coaches here what they have done to recruit their athletes to this institution and be a part of that now with football. As we continue to go here over the course of the next couple of months, I'll tell you, UWF football is very exciting for a lot of people. I think I've answered about 150 emails and taken about 50 phone calls of people wanting to be a part of this and have been in the area or they've been on campus. They've seen the growth. They've seen the excitement over the last couple of years and really want to be a part of that. So, again, I feel privileged and honored to be here today to start this program. We've got a couple years, obviously, before we get on the field. We've got a lot of work to do. I think when you look at what we were able to do at UNCP, offensively, defensively, we can get into that as we go along here because it's going to be a while before we get on the field. But what I want to be able to do is recruit young men to this university who are going to represent this university in a great way. And as I've talked to different people who have started programs, you've got one chance, I believe, to make a great first impression. And from what I know of the student athletes here, what Dave has told me in my interaction with some of the other coaches, we want to continue to bring quality student athletes who are going to represent this university in a first-class manner. And I'm excited to get that process started. Matter of fact, already have started that with some emails and some communications with some players who want to be here next fall. And as I send the response back to them, first off, do you have your application in? Okay, because we got to know if you can get in. But number two, we're not going to do any football activities in the fall of 14. They're still fired up to be a part of this first group. And they're still excited and they still want to come. So I'm looking forward to getting this started. Again, very appreciative of this opportunity, honored to be here, looking forward to a great future of Argo football.
Now we do have a couple minutes for a brief Q&A here with Coach Shinnick. So for our media in attendance, if you would just raise your hand and we'll go about it that way.
Coach, first and foremost, welcome to Pensacola, welcome to the University of West Florida, you and your family, and we're proud to have you here.
Thank you.
It's been said around here that there must be something in the water, because we breed an awful lot of great athletes around here in the NFL. And let me ask you, how would you go about recruiting some of our local talent in high school?
Well, we're going to start locally, and that has been our philosophy from the get-go. When we were at Azusa Pacific, everything was area codes out in Southern California. So you define everything by their area code, whether it's 828 or 626, whatever it is. When we moved to North Carolina, it was the same thing. Our local area code was 910. We're going to take the 850 area code, and that is going to be our base, and that is going to be our start. And we do not have to go beyond that until we need to find who we're looking for. And so all the local coaches had a conversation with Charlie Ward yesterday, was able to connect with him, congratulate him on his start, and he was very complimentary and very kind in that conversation. But that's what this process will be. We're going to start locally. I think there's a great opportunity for anybody who is in this area to stay close to home. Family can come watch them play. We've got a great venue that we're going to play in for the first couple of years. It's going to be exciting. So that'll be the pitch, and that'll be the process where we start. And I've already started building some of those relationships with some of the local coaches. You tell me.
Coach, briefly talked with Aaron about Pembroke. She said that was basically a college town. Most of GSC's about Austin, Georgia, Florence, Alabama. Is it going to be a little easier to recruit to Pensacola, Florida than it is up in North Carolina?
Yes. And Tracy and I came down last week, and even though it was a little cold and it was a little hard moving around, we maneuvered a little bit, but we just fell in love with the area. And for our kids, the first time on campus was this morning. We're driving in, and just all of them, same comment. Wow, this is really great. This is neat. We loved our time in Pembroke, and we love the the people there. But it's a different setup. I mean, we're Pembroke's 2,500 people, and there's got a Walmart and a McDonald's and everything a college student needs. Pensacola's got a few more things. It will be fun to have the opportunity to recruit to this area.
Coach, just aside from the size of the town, can you compare the situation going into Pembroke, building that from scratch, and coming in here and building this program from scratch, maybe the differences in potential and the situation?
Well, I think size of university was one of the things that was very appealing to me. UNCP is about 6,500 students right now, so we're right now almost double that, and I think with the projections to grow even further. Also, I've got a few more months that I did not have at UNCP. I was actually hired about 18 months out there. I started what would be next December. And so to get here and to be on the ground running, to be able to meet with some donors, to be able to do May recruiting for that fall of 15 class is very exciting. And that was part of the timeline that I felt if I was ever going to do it again, would need a little more time to get established, a little more time to develop some relationships, so that when we go to sign that class, and I mean, that's going to be here before you know it. 12 months is going to be here before you know it. We're going to have a signing day party. We're going to have a class. That's going to happen. All the excitement that was around all the programs yesterday, that will be us 12 months from now. So we're going to start working on that. And so the timeline and, this being able to be here was huge.
Coach, you mentioned you already got some emails as far as looking forward to building staff around here. And what are going to be some of the things you're going to be looking for when you're building for staff and starting?
Staff is very simple, and I've been fortunate. At Azusa Pacific, I was able to build a staff. And then when I came to UNC Pembroke, those guys stayed in California, which I completely understood at the time, and I was able to build a brand new staff at UNCP. Looking for men of character who want to embrace what the Division II coaching lifestyle is about, and who have great compassion for their players and want to get better as a coach. And, I look at how a coach has improved over the years in what he's done fundamentally, but then I also want to know what type of relationship he has with his players. And these first hires that we're going to be able to do this spring, those men have to meet that criteria, and then they've got to be excellent recruiters, because that is really how we're going to be spending our time all throughout the summer and all throughout the fall. Not coaching a team next fall. We're going to need to spend a lot of time on the phone developing relationships and getting the right group of people to be involved with this.
We have time for a couple more questions. Any more here?
Hey, Coach, they say that talent wins games and character wins championships. When you're looking for a specific type of people to fit your mold, what is your mold as far as your philosophy? 3 down linemen and a 3-4 or a 4-3. I know you've worked with some Monty Kiffin disciples before, as well as on the offensive side. There's some changes in the last several years as far as the read option. And I know you've had a 1,000-yard running back and some award-winning offensive linemen. What kind of kids are you looking for?
Well, first off, I agree with your statement. You've got to have young men who can play the game, but how they carry themselves and how they represent themselves is very important to us. And so we are going to find great character young men who fit our mold. Now, they've got to be able to play the game, obviously, and play it at a very high level, or Saturdays aren't very fun. And we're going to have a lot of fun on Saturdays. So we're going to find the right blend of that. The past few years, my defensive coordinator has been a 4-3. And I turned the defense really over to my coordinator. My coordinator I had before that was a 3-4 guy. And I meet specifically with them on what I'm looking for and what my expectations are. I let them worry about the scheme part of it. And my current defensive coordinator right now, he's in the running for the head job at UNCP, so I'm going to kind of wait on that position. I've called the offense pretty much most of the time that I've been a head coach. We've been running the zone read for a long time, and we've been fortunate in that I've had, this last year, we had a Harlan Hill finalist at quarterback, and 2 years ago, Travis Daniels was a Harlan Hill finalist, made it to the Final 9 as a running back. So our offense, I think, features the people who are the most talented. And last year, Luke Charles was one of the most talented quarterbacks in Division II. And a couple years before that, Travis Daniels was one of the most talented running backs in Division II. I think they both finished within the top 5 of D2 statistically. So we've got an offensive system that really plays to the strengths. Now, love to have both those guys doing that, in the same year. That'd be really exciting. But we'll find a way to make it work with the group we have.